Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the show, the wrestling show. We're keeping it real, goes right. Welcome back to Real Take Wrestle Talk live here on YouTube. As always, I'm your host, Omar Q, joined as always by the co-host, the man, the barman, Trevor Sutton. How you doing, Trev?
I'm good, man. How about you?
You know what? I am not able to speak, but we're gonna get through this show, guys.
It's okay. All right.
Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever new videos release. Also, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, be sure to smash that follow button and leave a 5-star review on some RVD stuff. We've got a lot to talk about today. We have so much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with hitting that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell? Let's keep it going, guys. We're going to be talking about Cody Rhodes, and again, more updates on his return to WWE. That is basically going to happen at this point for all the...
It's a work. Trust me, it's a work.
It's not a work. It's going to happen sooner rather than later. We also got updates on a new wrestling company that's going to have a TV deal that is, quote, imminent. We'll hear about that. We're also going to be talking about the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame, announcements on that, and much, much more, including the Wrestling Observer Newsletter 2021 Year-End Awards, which, Trevor, for you and me, marks an almost an anniversary. Next week's our 1-year anniversary, but, not that I forgot it or anything.
Yeah. I only remember it because you said Wrestle Observer.
Dave Meltzer, you hero. Oh, man, we got a great show lined up for you. But, Trevor, as always, let's start off with the same thing we always start off with, and that is WWB, the worst, weirdest, and best from this past week in pro wrestling. Let's start off with the worst, Trevor. The worst thing this week in pro wrestling, and I'll take it first because I have a bit of a soapbox about this, as everyone knows.
Let's go.
The worst thing this week in pro wrestling was, of course, Saudi Mania, whatever it is, 15 at this point. Saudi Mania, a.k.a. any show that is held in Saudi Arabia, part of this propaganda deal between WWE and the government, the kingdom, I should say, of Saudi Arabia, is the worst thing in this week in pro wrestling, because not only does it give you crap like Goldberg wrestling unnecessary matches, not only does it give you crap like, women being forced to wrestle, they make it work sometimes, but in t-shirts and a lot of times, not only does it give you this aura of fake corporate, almost greedy, just sensibilities, but it also just usually isn't a good show. I mean, that's about the end of it. I mean, apparently, I was told about what happened on the show by a friend, and we talked about it, and I was like, okay, yeah, pretty much everything I expected to happened. The only outlier was Austin Theory being the last person eliminated from the Elimination Chamber, which was okay, cool. I'll never see it happen, but cool. But obviously, other than all the wrestling-related stuff, the worst thing about this whole thing is that WWE gets paid hundreds of millions of dollars a year to be a propaganda arm of one of the most dictatorial and worst run kingdoms in the entire world. Forget kingdoms, governments, systems, whatever you want to say, in the entire world. They are known for war crimes in Yemen. They're known for human rights violations on every single sect, every single different minority group or marginalized group in their country. It is not great. And WWE said, we'll take the money and run with it, Mago. Literally. We are the sons of Tom, Mago. The Desert Storm, the Goldberg, whatever. Right. Y'all get me at this point. Terrible run, terrible reason for having the show. Terrible system of being paid to basically propagate how great Saudi Arabia is, even though they're making almost no realistic systematic change. And terrible because the shows are largely missable. But yeah, that's my soapbox about Saudi Arabia. Saudi Mania 44, the worst thing this week in pro wrestling.
I have to agree with you. didn't. I don't watch it. I don't. I watched maybe the first whichever one Titus O'Neil ran it under ring was. That's the one I watched.
The greatest Royal Rumble. The greatest Royal Rumble.
And after that, I was like, screw this. I'm not watching any more of this. And like, I mean, it's just, again, like you said, they pretty much make the women wrestle in trash bags. And they don't look comfortable. They tough it through, God bless them, but they don't look comfortable. They don't look happy. The matches, like, they could literally kill themselves in the ring and no one would give a fuck. Pardon my language, but it's true. It's just, yeah, so I agree with you. Saudi Mania 70,406, worst thing in wrestling this week.
I can't wait till Saudi Mania 69. I might watch that one just for the meme.
Just because it's 69.
Just for the meme, Michael Desert Storm. We're 69 and in the Desert Storm, Michael. Anyway, wow. All right, we're off to a great start here, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's keep it going. Actually, let's go to the chat real quick because we do have questions in the chat. We have CC joining us in the chat. Hello, CC, asking question. Everyone, question probably everyone is thinking. Why the hell did the Miz choose Logan Lameness Paul to be his tag team partner? CC, I can answer that for one reason. The very reason you're asking that question, you phrase it that way. That's exactly why Logan Paul is going to be the Miz's tag team partner. Because people don't like him. But people will tune in to see him get his ass kicked. People will tune in to see him for the spectacle. People will tune in. He's a draw. He's a draw. Exactly. And people don't like him.
That's
Those
what
are
he
two
is.
of the best things you can have. Floyd Mayweather has it. Conor McGregor has it. When you have those two things and you're a proven draw, that's all you need to make money.
Pretty much. That's it, man. That's it. All you need is controversy. That's all that matters.
Yep. And I'm one to say this. I actually like the presentation of Logan Paul in WWE. Over the past 2 years, I've actually liked the way they presented him. Because they haven't really presented him as, anything but just Logan Paul. Yeah, okay fighter, but definitely not. He's not like being presented like Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's like apparently the next Shawn Michaels. Like the way they most well protected wrestler in wrestling today is Bad Bunny. But with Logan Paul, it is. I think the presentation is good. I think the reason for having him is good. It's actually one of the few good celebrity involvements that WWE's done lately. Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't mean that I have to enjoy it or even like it for that matter. But yeah, it makes sense.
Yep.
Definitely makes sense.
Got some more statements in the chat since he's saying they didn't do the Punjabi Chamber. Well, they're in Saudi Arabia, dude. Punjab is like 5-6 countries away. Since he says F Saudi Arabia, they should do stuff in other places. Absolutely. And Craig responds to that by saying North Korea would be nice.
That's absolutely hilarious.
Well, they already did a show, not WWE. WWE didn't do a show in North Korea, but you know who did? Eric Bischoff in WCW as well as New Japan Pro Wrestling. Collision in Korea. It was an interesting show. Watch. I do recommend people watch the show because there actually was some good wrestling on it, but also
watch the documentary about it too.
Yep, and the reaction Inoki got, the reaction Inoki got in there was like the biggest pop of the entire night by far, and it was so weird because no one had been cheering the entire night. But Inoki comes out and he gets this massive pop from like the 100,000, literally 100,000 people in the stadium, and it is one of the weirdest things, but it's also I don't want to say cool, but like you know what I mean. It's just an interesting thing to see, and the reason for that, for people who don't know, it's like Ricky Dozon was a wrestler who was born in North Korea, went to Japan, and he actually trained Antonio Inoki. But that's another interesting story for itself. But yeah. So we got that. Markman123 is here. Make Kim Jong-un cry. Oh my God, this is. we don't need.
This is going.
We don't need Pyongyang. The Pyongyang on a pole match, Michael. No, we don't need that.
This has gone off the rails quite quickly.
Since he in the chat says, for some reason, I feel like it'd be cool to have a pay-per-view in Hawaii. I agree.
I agree. I'm actually surprised it hasn't happened yet.
On the beach in Hawaii, Tony Khan, talk to me, DM me, Venmo me.
Yeah.
Before I start giving you ideas away for free, sir. Anyway, Trevor, let's continue on this road. Talk about the weirdest thing from this past week in pro wrestling. And I'm going to let you take it from here. What do you think? The weirdest thing that you've seen or heard about this week in professional wrestling?
There's a couple of things that could go there. This is just my opinion. Okay, so everyone wants to see it. Yes, everyone wants to see it. But the whole rigmarole with Brock winning the belt one week and losing the next week, that's almost worse worthy in my opinion. I'm really getting tired of playing hot potato with the title belt. The decision is relatively weird for me. Like it's one of those things where I get where you're coming from and I understand why you're doing it. But if that's the case, you should have never took it off him in the first place. Like it's just I understand you're building suspense, but now you're making Lashley look weak. You're making Brock look sometimes. You're not making the product look good or the belt look good, in my opinion. So that's a weird thing for me.
Yeah, especially coming off of like Biggie, like the Biggie thing, the Kofi thing,
right?
Now the Lashley thing. Like, it's optically it's not great because you have like you have black champions who have good moments when they win, but not Bobby Lashley's latest reign, but you know what I mean. But then the ending is so flat, and then the run itself is so flat, and you're just like, why isn't everyone just booked to be? Why isn't every champion or most champions booked to be good? But you know why, Trevor? You know why some champions are not booked to be good? Because they're not.
What is that, crackers? Do you mean salty? They're not salty. They're not delicious snacks.
Oh my God. You're not eating that cracker. Wow.
I have so many jokes, but this is a family show.
No, it's not.
So
this is not a family show.
So what's the weirdest for you this week?
Oh man. Weirdest for me. So I'm gonna go with the Austin Theory, and I didn't see it. I'm not gonna see it, but Austin Theory being the last person eliminated from the Elimination Chamber was very weird to me. And not because I don't think it was a good idea, or not because I don't think that they should be doing that given his amount of airtime and all that stuff. But the reason I think it's so weird is because he's been largely booked to be a loser on TV because every time Vince is out there like, oh, Austin, you're going to go out there. You're gonna go kick that guy's ass. And he's like, oh, yeah. And I'm going to take a selfie with him, too. And he goes to take the selfie. Boom, bada bing. He's done. Bing. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Jobber. Big bang of jobber on that guy. And he's been jobbing, but then he wins against Balor. It's weird. They just have not booked him consistently. And it is, I don't know. I just don't know. But it's weird to me, given his booking.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. It's one of those things. Like I was thinking about adding that too, but like it's just one of those things where it's just like, I mean, that whole match could have been put in the weird category. Honestly,
the Markman 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Marcus.
Boy with the saltine.
Leaves a super chat saying, "The boy with the saltine."
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Marcus. Jesus, Marcus. Trevor, you've met Marcus. He was at Dewdrop.
I've met him before. Yeah,
you've met Marcus. Hey, Marcus, thank you for that. Wrestle Stars joins us in the chat, saying hello, saying the AEW is having Keith Lee as the new AEW champion soon. Very possible. Very possible.
I think we're gonna give him a big push, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hee. Hey, bro. Anyway, let's go. Let's finish this off and go to our best thing from this past week in pro wrestling. And for me, the best thing in this past week in professional wrestling was CM Punk opening up Dynamite in the ring, sitting Indian style.
Yes.
And for those of you who don't know the history behind the dog collar match and everything, I mean, it's what CM Punk did was beautiful. Okay, first of all, the promo itself, forget about all of the hints and all that kind of stuff and all the Easter eggs he threw in there. The promo itself, mwah, magical. CM Punk is proven why he is still one of, if not the best promo in pro wrestling today. Yeah, that the angry, the vitriol that MJF showed, that whole segment was just magic. But for me, Trevor, the cherry on top was CM Punk says, MJF loves to call himself Piper in Portland. He's bigger than Piper in Portland because Piper would always get a huge pop in Portland, right? He's bigger than Piper in Portland. And then he says, well, I want, and this is like the day after Valentine's Day, I think. He's like, well, MJF, I want you, he's like, if you're Piper, let me be your Valentine. And pulls out the dog collar. And for those of you who don't know, Piper and Greg the Hammer Valentine had a great dog collar match back in the day. And I'm just like, oh, it was such a great line.
It was.
And
great.
I was like,
amazing.
Oh, CM Punk, you get wrestling. I keep forgetting that wrestling, you get it. He's amazing. So
that
Punker,
was a good one for me, too.
Yeah, Punker did great. That whole segment. MJF being literally speechless because he can't think about a way to get out of a dog collar match is just great. 5 stars, 10 on 10, 15 in the Tokyo Dome.
No, I mean, that was amazing. That like, honestly, because Piper's one of my favorite wrestlers, one of my favorite wrestlers to watch anyway. Like, he was just amazing in the ring, amazing on the mic. He was just great to watch him. And to make that nod to him in that promo was chef kiss. It was awesome. Amazing. I think I'm gonna stick in AEW. One of my favorite things, and one of the best things for me was the back and forth with Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson. I thought that was amazing promo as well. I think the chemistry is there. I think the hinting to not saying no and not saying yes, still being in that that between stage is amazing. And the end quote, I don't stand beside someone unless I bleed with them first. Like, that's just amazing. Like, I mean, it not even just being a wrestling promo or wrestling quote. That's just a great quote in general. Like, that's amazing. Like, you don't make someone like your brother or your best friend unless you bleed with them first. You know what I mean? That's just amazing words to live by and an amazing quote. I thought 10 stars. I love that. That was great.
My only problem with that is the dude literally tagged with CM Punk last week. He never shared any blood with CM Punk. What's that?
Yeah, that's true. But he asked for CM Punk. Have you?
No, the blood though. The blood when it's WWE in 2020. They didn't bleed. They didn't bleed. I want you to bleed. No, Vince wasn't saying that in 2012.
Yeah, Mr. Logistics.
Well, I'm sorry.
Well, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Damn luck.
All right, TNA.
EV 2.0. EV 2.0.
EV 2.0. Oh my
The worst
God.
chant in pro wrestling history. Oh my
One
God.
of them.
No, the worst. Like, because it was so everyone who said that chant was getting paid. Nobody in their right mind would see Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, RVD, all those guys in the middle of the ring, and first thing they think the chant is EV 2.0, EV 2.0. Every single one of those people was paid by Panda Energy and TNA to sit there and chant that. There was that is no. You will never get me to believe that anyone legitimately chanted that.
No, not at all.
Actually, can I change my worst? Can I change my worst? It didn't even happen this week.
That didn't happen this week, so you can't say it.
What's worse than Saudi Arabia? TNA in 2014.
Oh, shit. We got some interesting chats going on here.
Yeah, we do. We got Wrestle Stars in the chat saying... Sorry, we got Wrestle Stars in the chat saying... I know about the dog collar match. It's amazing. It's amazing. Since he is not getting the United States belt due to teaming up with Ciampa. Ciampa and Finn Balor are teaming up now in WWE because Ciampa got called up to the main roster. That's going to be an interesting duo. It's Tommaso. I just want to see Tommaso Ciampa like destroy Finn Balor. and then like do the same thing he did with Johnny Wrestling, and just come out and be like no music, like I'm Tommaso Ciampa, bro. Yep. Yeah, it's interesting. Wrestle Star
But I
says,
agree with Wrestle Stars.
yep. Wrestle Star says Ciampa wouldn't make it as a singles competitor on Raw or SmackDown. Cincy, they should put Ciampa with Ricochet on Smack. Oh my God, just bury him.
Exactly.
I cannot believe that saying that is like. It's actually like burying someone's like, wow, put him with Ricochet. Like, oh no, he's getting buried. And I'm like, fuck. Well, look what they did to
Ricochet is a great wrestler that they literally let rot. It's pissing me off. But I unfortunately, Wrestle Stars, I gotta agree with you. Ciampa is the reason Ciampa would make it as a singles competitor on Raw or SmackDown is because let's can we guess? Can we put a vote to it here? Because they don't push their stars, especially ones from the NXT. Like Ciampa can make it in any big promotion, any of them. Ricochet, so can Finn Balor. Can't do it in WWE because he does not fit the build. He's not big. He's not beefy. He's not an overgrown fucking giant. Like he's just they can't use him, so they don't use him. That's why he won't make it.
I want beef. Go give me some beef. That's literally what I feel like Vince McMahon is just saying that every 5 seconds on TV days. I just feel like that's all he's
another Garza and Humberto.
Beef. Oh my God, beef. Here we go. They wouldn't be another guy to no. They're so great, but they're jobbers on TV.
Exactly, dude.
Oh my God, guys, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Let's move on and talk about AEW. More importantly, Trevor, the future of AEW after Cody Rhodes. There was AEW, I guess, there's AEW now AC because it's after Cody. And I think and I think it's an interesting topic to talk about. So I kind of want to get into the difference between AEW when it started to where it is now, since, we're seeing basically the first big departure from AEW to WWE, and it just happens to be one of the founding members of AEW. Again, I don't think anyone ever would have thought that Cody Rhodes would have been the first one to jump ship from AEW to WWE, but that's why you never say never in pro wrestling. CM Punk has returned. Sting is wrestling. Christian Cage returned. Edge won the Royal Rumble last year. Never say never. Stone Cold Steve Austin, by the way. Cody Rhodes. You want to talk about how big of a star Cody Rhodes is right now? Cody Rhodes Cody Rhodes potentially signing with WWE overshadowed Stone Cold Steve Austin's return after 19 years.
Right.
Completely buried it. Absolutely buried it. That's how big Cody Rhodes is right now. For comparison, there's a lot of people, but man, I do want to get into this, Trevor, and I'm just gonna I'm just gonna ask you, how is AEW different now than it was when it started?
Well, AEW now, like I said, and I don't think that is gonna change. I've been saying for almost a year now. AEW is a indie promotion with a pro promotion with an indie feel, and that's what they what they are. That's kind of what they started with. But I feel so now it's more indie than it was to begin with, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. Actually, I think that's a great thing. I think that's what helps AEW stand out. I think that's what helps them like make their mark. The fact that they do have these superstars that have these different contracts and they can do what they can do. The flexibility of AEW is the reason why most stars come to AEW. The chance to be something different than the promotion they were at before, to be on a different stage and to be in a different limelight. It's run completely differently. And that's, I mean, and that's a good thing for this business. I think AEW has had some kinks. I think they still have some kinks to work out, but I think they've been working them out very nicely. I think the some of the touches they've been doing with the women's division have been slight, but very well needed. I think the tag team division is the shining star, and I think they have done a great job with highlighting that. I think they've done a good job of stepping up the representation, and that was an issue at one point. Um, I think as far as diversity, they might be one of the top companies, which is a great thing. They have gotten stars names out there. Like 5 years ago, Orange Cassidy was not a household name. Neither was Darby Allin. Neither was Jungle Boy. None of these guys were household names. They're doing a great job of getting these, like I said, indie guys and making them household names. So I think in a long run, AEW is making great strides to be around for a long time. Now, with the departure of Cody Rhodes, I mean, it's they're gonna take a hit. Like, I mean, come on, it's Cody Rhodes. Like I said last week, he's a member of of wrestling royalty. Like, there's the Rhodes family, there's the Flair family. There's the Hart family, and they are a part of wrestling royalty.
There's only one family. It's my family. Stephanie, Shane, Linda, runs for Senate twice.
Does he even
wasted
does
$50
he even
million.
claim Linda nowadays? I don't think he claims Linda nowadays. But no, like, I mean, so it does take a hit. For the future of AEW, though, I think they're still in good hands. I think they're still doing what they need to do. I mean, he's not one of the founder fathers, but they do have veteran help in CM Punk and Bryan Danielson and John Moxley, a lot of the other vets in there, So I still think they have that vet experience that they lost with Cody Rhodes. But I can't forget the natural his brother. Well, I can't think of his name right now, but
Dustin Rhodes.
So Dustin Rhodes. I don't know why I forgot his name. But anyway, but yeah, so I think they're doing okay, but like I said, there is a hole missing. Of course, you can't ignore that.
Yeah. It's interesting because for me, at least, when AEW started out for me, I always thought of it as a super indie. And it was like, okay, so let me be clear. When I mean super indie, I meant they would have basically what AEW was in its inception is where Ring of Honor would have been 5 years down the line had they reached their full potential, had everything gone right for Ring of Honor, right? Had everything gone right, that could have been them in within 5 years after the time. But AEW said, all right, we're gonna speed up the clock on that. Tony Khan invested hundreds of millions of dollars in there. He had a vision, and he made it better than what Ring of Honor would have been, because from the first event you saw, oh, this is not a joke. The first Double or Nothing, it was, it still felt kind of like a super indie, because that's a lot of the people who they were relying on to get over, a lot of the people who they were relying on, especially early on, to make a name and to fill the talent roster, honestly, were a lot of indie people like Orange Cassidy, like Luchasaurus, all these guys. Joey Janela, first guy to wrestle John Moxley in AEW, was Joey Janela at Fyter Fest 2020 or 2019, I should say. So so it was always like that kind of like super indie feel with like that pro wrestling, like oh, this is like the big leagues kind of. And then, like, as time went on, it just became another big league. Like, that's what AEW is now. It's not, it's not an alternative, or it is still an alternative, I think, for a lot of people. But in reality, it's just another big league. Imagine, I liken it to, how, like, there's the Premier League, and then, then you have, like La Liga. Like, it's a completely different, like, thing, but it's the same sport. It's the same, I guess, enterprise in a way. So it's just insane how much it's grown. But as far as where it's different, I think AEW, it's not relying on those people early on who were
Right.
big for the company. It's not relying on necessarily like the indie wrestlers as much as big name wrestlers. Like, who are some of the biggest people right now in AEW? It's CM Punk, it's Bryan Danielson, it's, Christian Cage, like people who came over now, Keith Lee. So it's become, because they're less dependent on indie wrestlers, or because they're less dependent on those guys having to stand out in order for them to make a name for themselves, they're able to acquire talent from the bigger wrestling company or compete with WWE for getting talent now. And that's a huge deal.
Mhm.
And that's like, a lot of people didn't think AEW would be able to do that within their first 10 years. And they did that in their first 3 now. Like, they are competing. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not saying that, oh my God, AEW is going to put WWE out of business. No, I'm not saying that. AEW is not going to put WWE out of business. WWE hopefully is not going to put AEW out of business, because the two things right now need each other to elevate pro wrestling as a whole. I love that. And also I like Dynamite, but yeah, I wanted to hit on another point you made, about AEW. I don't even think it has the feel of a super indie anymore. It doesn't have really an indie feel to me anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe this is just my perception, because when you look at the way it's produced, you look at the way it's set up, even the camera cuts, which is the most annoying thing for me from WWE by far. I hate the 15 camera cuts every 10 seconds. I hate that thing. Kevin Dunn, please resign. I said that in a very nice way. But I'm noticing that with AEW, a little more camera cuts. The lighting is a little weird. I don't know. It's different from when it started for sure, and it doesn't give me an indie feel. It just gives me kind of like a similar feel, honestly, as far as being a big pro wrestling company. But I don't know. I just wanted to touch on that.
No, I agree with you. So when they first started, definitely they gave me that indie feel, and then until recently, they definitely did. So with the indie feel, and I'm sure you've been to a couple of indie promotions, just like I have. With the whole indie feel, the thing about the indies is this: like, when you're in an indie show or whatever, 9 times out of 10, you're in a place that's this big, right? And it's normally super grungy, kind of. It's not, doesn't mean it's like a nasty place or anything. The lighting is
Oh,
low.
I've been to the Hammerstein Ballroom. It's a nasty place.
Oh, Hammerstein Ballroom is, but but it's normally lights are dim. Like, it's just like a, I guess, like a bargain feel. Like, I guess, like a less fancier feel, and that's what I got going to the very first AEW. That's Dynamite. That's exactly what I got. It was a dark. They dim the lights in the arena, even though it was a big arena. They dim the lights in the arena, and if you look on the TV, they only show you certain parts, because at the time they didn't even fill all the way up. They did it on that on purpose, and so it was just that type of feel. And honestly, I love that type of feel. That's what made me really truly fall in love with wrestling. Like, that being able to take this little nugget and make it bigger was always something that I loved about the indie promotions. They take this high school basketball court, or this small ballroom, and making it to a big production. And it was always something that I loved about it. And that's what I felt like AEW did, and that's what I feel like NXT did early on in their career. And then they brought it to whatever the hell this is now. But
they outgrew it. I mean, that's not a bad thing. They
no. Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that NXT outgrew it, but NXT is still NXT 2.0, and but no, AEW did it well.
Nah. See, this is just your inner Matt Cardona, because you want to defend Matt Cardona. See, this is what you want to do, because Matt Cardona, let's be honest, he couldn't sell out. Forget 10,000 seat arena. He couldn't sell out a 4,000 seat arena. Matt Cardona, yeah, he can go out there. He can go out there and he can sell out bingo halls, high school football fields of 200 people. Yeah, I could sell tickets for 200 people. Hell, Dave Meltzer, tweet at me. We'll set records for wrestling podcasting attendance, baby. But I swear to God, no. This is you. And you and all you little Matt Cardona marks out there. This is what you people do. You and all you little Matt Cardona marks want to just be like, oh, well, look at how good Matt Cardona is. I got to defend the fact that he's only selling about NWA. There was like 4 people in the audience when he debuted. 4. Trevor, we have a bigger audience right now watching live than Matt Cardona did when he won the NWA World Championship.
Yo, you don't hear me say that.
I didn't need to hear you say it. I didn't need to hear you say it.
First off, I like Matt Cardona. I do.
I can see it in your eyes, Hogan.
I mean, yes. Is it interesting that Matt Cardona has done what he's done? Yes, it is. And all the amazing indie wrestlers that are out there, they have not done is what Matt Cardona has done in like 6 months. So, like, yo, Matt Cardona, yes, I love Matt Cardona, but this has nothing to do with Matt Cardona. This is just the fact that you hate Long Island IC. You have hate in your heart for Long Island IC.
No. Don't get it twisted.
I see it. I see it in the way you twist your hat backwards.
Long Island IC. Loved him. Never lost. Loved him.
Never lost.
Long Island IZ was amazing. True Long Island story was amazing.
It was. I love that.
This jobber who was presented
the
NWA World's Heavyweight Championship in front of a sold-out NWA power crowd of 4 people. Trevor.
So was it amazing when Trevor Murdoch won it in front of one person and a stepchild and a homeless dog?
Guess what? That dog cheered louder than anyone else in that damn 4-person. Like, no, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. And I'm not even saying that.
Don't get me wrong. I love Trevor Murdoch. I always have.
Trevor Murdoch? He beat, oh my God. Oh, no, stop the presses. Oh my God, Matt Cardona beat Trevor Murdoch. Oh, this is so
Everyone made a big deal when Trevor Murdoch beat Aldis. When you should probably be making fun of Aldis for losing to Trevor Murdoch.
But you can suck on all these great likes, shares, and subscribes that we're about to get. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe with that notification bell for more crap like this. Please. Oh, man.
We're having fun tonight. We're having fun, my guys.
Oh, guys. Oh, let's go through some of these chats here. Wrestling Star says in the chat, Cody is Edge's opponents, a lot of people are saying, but AJ is what everyone in WWE wants to think. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Russell Stars also says Darby Allin was a household when he jumped off the turbulence off the wheelchair. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He still wasn't a household name, but I know what he means. I know what he's getting at.
Yeah. CC says, OMG, Omer, your voice impressions never fail. Well, thank you for that. Wrestling Stars says Tony Khan already got something big announced very soon. We'll see. And Wrestling Stars also says his Seth Rollins accent.
I win the WWE title 4 times. My name is Seth Rollins.
I love Justin Roberts too, though. He's one of my favorite announcers.
The Dapper Yapper.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, we're going to move on. Then talk about the WWE. And boy, oh boy, Trevor, coming out of Saudi Mania 89, we had some big news as we're finally going to get it, Trevor. It looks like we're finally going to get it. Brock Lesnar defeated Bobby Lashley and 4 or 5 other people in the Elimination Chamber. Brock Lesnar is the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He won the Royal Rumble, which means he has the right to face whoever he wants, and he chose Roman Reigns. So now Brock Lesnar, it looks like, will face Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania. Champion versus champion, title for title, on some WrestleMania 6 shiznit. Trevor, what do we think about this, the way it's played out, and how do you see the road to WrestleMania playing out now?
Okay, so we call this, of course. I think everyone did. Let me be very clear from what I'm about to say. Although it's interesting to see, and it is very 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 interesting to see. We want to see it. It's boring at this point. I think it's more so let's get this over with. And this is just how I feel, and I don't speak for anyone. Never have, never will. But for me, it's more so let's just get it over with. It's gonna happen. Let's just get it over with. I'm tired. Like I said earlier, I'm tired of the championship being tossed around. I'm tired of making wrestlers look weak. I'm tired of it. So I want to see it because I want to see Roman Reigns beat Brock Lesnar. Because I mean, come on, that's pretty much what it's leading up to. But I'm just sick of it. It's getting annoying. We already knew this was gonna go. This was like so easy to tell. Like it's just one of those things. Like duh, I knew it was gonna happen this way. The road to WrestleMania is gonna be interesting though. I mean to see what other potholes they put in the way. But other than that, I'll watch it and I'll be okay with the outcome. But I'm just kind of just ready for it to happen.
We got a roadblock. We got a roadblock, Michael. WrestleMania roadblock. Well, on that note, we do have a roadblock at WrestleMania, and it's going to come at MSG when Brock Lesnar, the Madison Square Garden show, I believe first week of March-ish, but Brock Lesnar.
It's a house show, right?
Yeah, it's a house show. They're probably going to end up putting it on the network or Peacock or whatever, but Brock Lesnar's going to end up defending his world title against someone, and it's just a Paul Heyman roadblock. We saw the promo on Raw, but I'm going to disagree with you. Don't tease me now, Trevor. But in all seriousness, I do disagree with you on this. I am not bored of this.
Fun.
I am not unhappy with this. This is the match. There is no bigger match than Roman Reigns at the very best he's ever been against Brock Lesnar, arguably at the very best he's ever been. Cowboy Brock on Raw was
amazing
as hell. Funny as hell, charismatic as hell.
He's one of the best things in promos nowadays, dude.
Promos on the show.
I love watching his promos. I love them.
And if Brock winning the WWE title and being on Raw and SmackDown every week means we get a Brock Lesnar promo every week, more. Give him the title. Give it. I don't agree with the way they went about giving him the title. I think that they could have gone about that differently. But bro. Vince Russo voice. No, in all seriousness, Brock Lesnar, the guy who has defeated Roman Reigns twice in the main event of WrestleMania, Roman Reigns, the guy who's lost in matches against Brock Lesnar twice in the main event of WrestleMania. He's done it all. Won Royal Rumble, won the WWE title, longest reigning Universal Champion, but he's not defeated Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania in the main event. It's going to happen. Dallas, WrestleMania 38, April.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, and I am psyched for it. And it's going to be Brock Lesnar at his most charismatic, at his best, against Roman Reigns, with the Usos, with Paul Heyman, with... Give me the match. Put it into my veins. It's one of the few things in WWE outside of Chad Gable that I'm actually excited about.
It's just me. I know, like I said, I know it's me.
It is just you. You've had a problem with it. You're cheering on Matt Cardona, but you're booing Brock and Roman, title versus title, champion for champion.
No, I'm not booing it. I want to see it. I'm just sick of it at this time.
No.
I said I want to see it.
Sir, we have to control the show. Mute. Sir.
I'm a
calm down. Guys, hit that like button.
I don't know where this is going.
I don't know. It's like, sir, I'm in control. It's my heel turn. My long-awaited heel turn. Like, if Cody won't do it, someone has to.
Someone has to, right?
Someone has to. Oh man,
That's
Wrestle
hilarious.
Stars in the chat says, Umar, we saw Veer Mahan at the chamber. You're damn right we did. He's coming. Veer's gonna come.
Is he still walking?
I mean, I'm surprised he didn't make it to Saudi by now. It's a much closer walk from India to Saudi Arabia than it is to
It
the
is. It
U.S.
really is.
Oh, I was surprised. Man. Maybe he made it. Oh, maybe you know what? You know what's sad? Maybe he made it. He finally made it to the U.S. Like, and then he found out that they're in Saudi Arabia. Now he's walking to Saudi Arabia, not knowing,
Now they're
not
gone.
knowing
Yeah.
that they're gone. Oh, poor Veer.
Poor
Poor Veer. And
Yeah, as
oh
long as he
man.
gets his cookie and his juice.
No, you mean his masala cookie and his mango lassi, bro. Let's get that right, man. Big shout out to Veer for the culture, for the culture, not for this culture, for this culture. Guys,
Jesus Christ.
hey, what's that? It is that's a culture. That's a culture. I can say that.
It is.
That's a culture.
You can't-
I mean, I know the term. GCW for the culture live March or April 4th, something like that. Or I think it's
Yeah.
WrestleMania weekend. Yeah, go check that out, people.
Definitely watching that. A lot
Cool.
to watch.
Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry to everyone who's listening on podcast. But anyway, guys, let's move on and talk about the one, the only Mr. Pro Wrestling at this moment, Cody Rhodes. There were multiple teases about Cody Rhodes on Raw this past week. We saw Edge, or we heard, I should say, Edge make reference to Cody Rhodes in his promo, or not directly, but indirectly. We also heard Miz kind of tease it before Logan Paul was called out as his tag team partner. He said, "My tag team partner is dashing." So, you know, like there's a lot of references, and you would really think that WWE, there's no way WWE is doing this unless they know it's basically a done deal at this point. They're not teasing Cody unless they know it's a done deal. Cody to WWE looking more and more likely every day. For those of you who still believe that this is a work, I don't know what to tell you. It's not a work. It's 99% chance at this point happening. Trevor, what do you think about all the teases to Cody Rhodes? Is it smart of them to kind of plant the seeds before he kind of returns and get people excited about it?
I think it's a great marketing employ to, like you said, to plant the seeds and, tease him a little bit, because soon as Ed sat down and started talking about he wanted an opponent, that's the first person I thought of. I don't know exactly why, but that was one of the first people I thought of. I mean, like, of course, AJ Styles would be a great match. There's a couple people that would be a great match, but Edge and Cody would be amazing to watch. And, like, honestly, I really just thought about Cody as soon as he started talking about it. And like you said, the different hints Miz was making, dashing Cody Rhodes, all things like that. I was like, it's interesting. It's very interesting. And then you hear, if you look online, especially look at Twitter, which unfortunately I do every once in a while.
Oh,
it's
man.
you'll see people talking about, it's a work. It's a complete work. PPP. Yeah.
What kind of Twitter are you looking
people
All right.
You hear people talking about how it's a work and like I'm actually getting tired of the whole work. I mean, honestly, like I said before, if this is a work, it's one of the greatest works in history. And not only should he be sought after this is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, because this would be one of the greatest works in wrestling history completely. But I mean, I don't know. If it is a work, again, is a great one. I don't believe it is. I honestly believe this is done deal and this is what's going to happen.
It can't be a work. If Tony Khan and Cody work this, for as great as the crowd reaction would be, the reaction in the locker room, I don't think it would go over that well, because
no,
because they've definitively told the locker room that Cody's gone. Here's the thing. You can keep things, I guess, from the boys or the locker room in general, but when you straight up lie to them, and that's you don't really come back from that. That becomes you lose trust. And AEW's built up a lot of goodwill over the past few years with the locker room, and recently they've lost some of that goodwill, and you don't want to erode away at that if you're Tony Khan. You definitely do not want to eat away at that goodwill. That's point number one. Number two, the teasing Cody is great because I would rather WWE is smart to have Cody Rhodes as the surprise that everyone knows is coming rather than the surprise that just comes out of nowhere. Because look what happened with CM Punk. Everyone knew. The second they announced the United Center for the first dance, everyone and their grandmother knew CM Punk is debuting at that show. It's happening. Yep. They sold out the United Center. It was a big show, big crowd, great show. The one of, 4 shows that AEW ran in Chicago in a 2-week span, and it did great. It did better than both of those other shows. So teasing this is the smart thing to do because you're going to sell tickets if you kind of find a way to do it in a similar way. You're going to sell more merchandise. It's just going to be great. It's going to be a better moment, bigger moment. And
WWE going to Cody's home? I think it's Georgia, right? Anytime soon.
Let us know in the chat if Cody Rhodes is going, or if WWE is going to Cody Rhodes' home of Atlanta, Georgia, anytime soon. Cody's got a private jet. They'll get him there. Whatever he needs to go.
I'm just wondering because, if that'd be
I don't. I mean, okay, they're not going to do it exactly like that. They'll end up
No, they're not. But I was just wondering.
Maybe at the MSG show. Here's the thing. I wouldn't. I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh my God, Cody is Brock's opponent. I would not do that. I'm not going to. No. Don't unless you're going to have Cody win the world title on his first night in and beat Brock Lesnar. Don't do that. Yeah. I mean, you could do that. You could have Cody come in on his first night at the Madison Square Garden show in a month, or in a few weeks, I should say, and have him beat Brock Lesnar on his first night in, win the world title. That was established Cody Rhodes as a monster champion from day one. I have reservations about whether or not WWE would do that. I also have reservations of what that would mean for Brock in general, but if the plan is for Cody to come in one night, have a great match with Lesnar and lose, don't do it. Just don't do it. He can debut in any other way. Have him come on the show and cut a promo. Yeah. That first Cody Rhodes promo, I don't care. I understand they got sponsors and everything. If there's ever a time for WWE to just flaunt in the internet wrestling community and AEW's face about something, it is this. If I'm Vince McMahon, I'm telling Cody, you got 30 minutes. Or, sure. They got a schedule, right? Whatever. They got to schedule it. Cody, you got 30 minutes. Go out there. Say what you want, how you want, however you want, to whomever you want right now. Don't even worry about it. Because that first promo is going to be so sought after. It's going to be so watched. People are going to be glued to their screens when Cody cuts that first promo, just expecting him. And if I'm WWE, I'm going to tell him, hey, say what you want, cover these points about AEW. Like talk about, he needs to go out there and rail on AEW because, one, that's the game. Because everyone in AEW does that to WWE. WWE optically should do that to AEW as well. Because that's one of the big crutches that WWE has had for a while. They don't acknowledge AEW. They just refuse to acknowledge it. And by refusing to acknowledge it, they're making themselves look like fools, and they're letting their competition just run a roughshod on them on their own show. So take advantage of it. This is the biggest pro wrestling free agent signing you've had in a while. This is arguably the biggest one you're going to have for a while. And in the moment, this is the equivalent of a founding member of the NWO jumping ship to WWE midway through. And I'm not talking about and all those people who are like, well, X-Pac jumped ship to No. The Big Show, no. I'm talking about, imagine Hogan, Hall, Nash, one of those three in the middle of the biggest boom, in the middle of 1998, jump ship to WWE. That's how big this is in comparison. It's the only thing you can compare it to, honestly. But that's what I think. Cody's got to come. Hopefully he comes before Veer, because it doesn't look like poor Veer might be lost at this point.
Yeah, I think someone would just send some hounds out. Search.
No, why send that? Why are you sending hounds out
To look for
attack
him because
Veer.
he's fun.
Oh, to look
Not
for. I was like,
attack.
I was like bloodhounds. I'm like the Game of Thrones. Like, Jesus, why are you?
Jesus
Why don't hurt
Christ.
Veer? He's just trying to come. He's just trying to find his way home.
Jesus.
What is
Christ.
wrong with you, Trevor? Oh my goodness. The man is just trying to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Yeah, hey guys, you want me to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever new videos release. Let's move on from this and talk about the narrative. More importantly, controlling your own narrative. Trevor, a new wrestling company is about to get a TV deal, and it's not AEW, not WWE, not MLW, not Impact, not GCW, but a brand new company called Control Your Narrative. Control Your Narrative, otherwise known as CYN, is being started by EC3 and Adam Scherr. Adam Scherr, of course, formerly known as Braun Strowman. They've launched their own pro wrestling organization promotion. The group has already confirmed that their first live dates are going to be March 5th in Orlando. That is culminating around the Revolution event. And you also have the March 31st show in Dallas during the WrestleMania weekend. And the second show, which is going to be in Dallas, is set to be a TV taping, confirming that Control Your Narrative has a network distribution already lined up. They've also released a statement saying basically that a TV announcement is imminent. Also, EC3 and Adam Scherr are set to feature the likes of Matt Cardona, Impact Wrestling World Champion Moose, John Sliker, Matt Sydal, Marina Shafir, Wesley Blake, Matt Tavern, amongst others, including Killer Cross, who is going to appear on the March 31st show. They have a lot of very interesting people lined up for their shows. They're getting a TV deal, and they are doing it. They're doing professional wrestling in a way that is interesting, innovative, and different. Very different than what we've seen before. It's not just a regular promotion, but I'll start with the first aspect of it, the TV deal. Trevor, what do you think about the fact that Control Your Narrative is getting a TV deal very, almost out of nowhere, it would seem?
That's interesting. I mean, it's great for them. I mean, and honestly, I think great for wrestling. But that's very interesting. I wonder what did they say what channel or network they're looking at?
No. It's they've just teased it.
It's still just
for all we know. We're gonna be live on Tubi TV, Michael.
I mean, and even still, that's better than nothing. You know what I mean? Like honestly, it's interesting. I wish the best for them. Two guys who I like a lot and admire a lot. I would love to see them on live TV. I think it's, and like I said before, I think it's great for wrestling. Like to have a promotion that quickly and just get a TV deal. I think that's amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I agree, and the fact that Control Your Narrative. I mean, To be fair, they've done shows before. Like EC3 has done shows before, kind of doing the concept. And for those of you who don't know, it's very interesting. It's hard to explain. I recommend everyone go check it out. But it's different, and much like the way something like Josh Barnett's Bloodsport is a different type of show than a regular pro wrestling show. It's a different presentation. It exists almost in a different reality, you could say. But it's kind of like reimagining what pro wrestling is, and I always love that kind of artistic feel about it. And EC3 is an artist. I don't care what anyone says. He's very smart. He's creative. He actually he was going to pitch this to WWE, the whole Control Your Narrative storyline, the angle, the group. He was going to pitch this to WWE, and then they saw what was done to, I think he saw what was being done to The Fiend back in 2019, and he said, "Oh, I'm not pitching this to them." So good on him for holding on to this, because it looks like it's not only fruitful for him, it's not only created an opportunity outside of WWE for him, but it might create an opportunity for a whole host of other talented wrestlers in a period where wrestling is becoming very, very big. And there's more pro wrestling talent out there than there has been for a very long time. It's great. I wish them luck. There's already people on Twitter who are crapping all over this. And to those people, I say,
of course there are.
Why you gotta hate? Just don't watch. If you don't like it, you don't need to watch it. But But don't knock it till you try it. I recommend everyone check it out. Also, go check out Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. It's super
It's
cool.
interesting. I
Oh
like it,
my
actually.
god, I love Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. It's so cool. It's so cool.
I think Moxley was on there a couple months back.
He was on there a couple of years back, actually. Yeah,
Okay.
that was a oof. That was a
What was that?
brawl. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah, it
god, I
was.
love it. It's like mix of cinema, UFC, wrestling. Oh, I love it. I just love it. That's what I want.
I love the name CYN. I love the control your narrative thing. I like it a lot. I mean, and I hope this, and just like Bloodsport does. I hope this helps them like get newer indie guys. Get some young talent in there and let them see. I think this is a great way of helping out the newbies. You know what I mean? Helping out the people that's trying to control the narrative. Technically, no pun intended. But it's yeah. I think it's stuff like this is always great for us. Completely, amateurs and pros.
Well, if you're a pro, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever new videos are released. We're gonna keep on keeping on here. Next, we're gonna talk about the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. Chibba Chibba Hall of Fame, fame. Some say my name. Mark Henry's got the Hall of Pain.
They just rhyming shit.
I went to DC on a train.
Oh dear God.
Anyway, guys. So Ring of Honor has announced the Ring of Honor has announced the first 4 inductees into the first ever class of the ROH Hall of Fame, and they are the Briscoe brothers, Samoa Joe, CM Punk, and Bryan Danielson. Arguably the 4 most important people in the history of this company. And these are stretching to multiple eras. We're talking about 4 different world champions here in Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, and Jay Briscoe. I mean, it is just this is just you want to talk about an elite class of talent. This is as elite as you can get. Trevor, tell me, why is this the most perfect inaugural class that for a Hall of Fame that Ring of Honor could ask for?
I mean, you don't get no better. I mean, like, oh crap, you don't get no better. Like, they did a good job of doing like it perfectly. It's perfect. Like, not only did they put the people that like help put them on the map. I mean, they're 4 of the most like talented wrestlers in especially indie circuit, but wrestling in general. Like it was perfect, absolutely perfect. Like Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, the Briscoes. Like the only other names, there are other names you can throw in there, but I mean these are perfect, absolutely perfect. Sorry, my mic fell off.
You're good.
Just
yeah, I mean, yeah, you're fine. But I mean, yes, I agree. Perfect. It's the only way you can describe this. This is the perfect class at the perfect time, perfect place. For Ring of Honor is going to reboot and restart into something new and kind of put a new stamp on things. This is a perfect way to kind of reintroduce that fan base, have something that's kind of an attraction like a Hall of Fame to keep those people coming back for the reboot. That's from a business perspective, it works. From a historic perspective and a Hall of Fame perspective, I said it in the prelude. I'm going to say it again. These are 5 of the most important people, arguably the 5 most important people in the history of this company. The Briscoes, best tag team the Ring of Honor's ever had. Jay Briscoe, one of the most underrated world champions the Ring of Honor's ever had. Along with Samoa Joe, who, along with CM Punk, helped put Ring of Honor on the map early on in 2004 when they had those great feuds. The Draw, he was the first big champion they had, and then he became a success story in TNA. CM Punk went on to become a success story in WWE. After those 2 left, Bryan Danielson not only took the mantle, but he grabbed it and he absolutely shot it to the moon with everything he did, became the best pro wrestler in the world, became the best technical wrestler in the world, got himself a job in WWE, and is still to this day. it is still to this day is one. He just won the Wrestling Observer Best Technical Wrestler of the Year. So the award that's literally named after him. So I mean, these are again for the most important people. If you had to have a top 4, top 5, I should say, because you have both the Briscoes in there. These are your top 5, and it's your first class. You gotta have your most important people in there. There's time for the Davey, the Davey Richards and the
Right.
El Genericos. Right now, it's time to properly honor the 4 or 5, I should say, greatest talents in the history of Ring of Honor, and that's these 4 or 5. Yeah.
And that brings up another question to me. If you could pick anyone else to go into the Hall of Fame, who would it be? Into the RH Hall of Fame.
So if I could pick anyone else to go into the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame, see, I mean, look, Kevin Kelly, man, like he was the voice of Ring of Honor for such a long time. I like, and again, I know people want me to say like, oh, why don't you say Kevin Owens or you know, like, or you know, like, and I was like, yo, Kevin Kelly is very well deserved. He held it up. He was a great announcer there for a very long time. And that's not to say there's other people who aren't deserving, but I think Kevin Kelly would be my next pick.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin would be a great one. I would love as well as he did. It was Quackenbush was their talent getter, right? He was the owner at one point, right? Mike Quackenbush, I believe.
I don't know.
I believe if he is, I believe he had something to do with Ring of Honor. If I'm,
is there a picture of George Bush dressed up as a duck? That Quackenbush. Yeah.
Shut up. He's one another one that, I mean, if you talk about wrestlers, Delirious, what he did.
Yeah, Delirious.
Also, Black Machismo definitely held the belt for a very long time.
Yeah.
There's a few people you can throw in there.
There's a lot of people. Ring of Honor's long.
I mean, probably Roderick Strong and Adam Cole. You probably put them after these guys, though.
Yeah, I get Roderick Strong. Yeah, Adam Cole. I'm not saying no. I just don't think he was around there for too long. The Young Bucks.
Well, he was only for 5 years.
Young Bucks, AJ Styles. I mean, those are other ones. There's a lot of people you could go to.
There's a lot of people, yeah. Definitely.
But these are, I think, almost undisputably the top 4 or 5 inductions you could do. I got a question for you though. Of the 4, I guess, inductions that are going to happen. Of the 4 inductions, the Briscoes, Samoa Joe, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, which one of these is the best performer, or not even best performer? Which one of these is the greatest? How do I phrase this? Because I mean, the damn Briscoe. Okay, forget the Briscoes; they don't count here. But
right.
Okay, of the 3 singles competitors who are being inducted into the ROH Hall of Fame, which of these 3, Samoa Joe, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, is the best from their time in Ring of Honor?
Now, are we just talking about in-ring work, or are we talking about like?
Yes, all of it.
Okay,
all of it. Yes,
in general.
Is the answer.
Okay. So it's a tough one to me, honestly. But the guy I'm gonna pick. I have reasons for picking. I'm gonna pick CM Punk only because of the fact that his in-ring ethic changed, 1, into that of what you see now. 2, it helped keep him alive. Wrestling and being the who he is helped be who he is today. Like if he didn't have RH, I honestly don't think he would have been straight edge CM Punk or anything CM Punk. You know what I mean? Like people make fun of take lightly of dudes who have had addictions and things like that, and it's not an easy thing. And for him to have done be straight edge and do all the things he's done, it's hard, man. There's a lot of vices out there, things people go through every day, man. It's hard not to just pick up a bottle and just drink to the suds. To be straight edge is hard. very hard, and especially in the position he was in, and to do what he has done, combat his demons and everything, and then come back to wrestling and just hold down RH the way he did, and the work and the matches he did in RH, my God, like he's just amazing. So he's my pick. He's definitely my pick. And that's not taking anything away from Bryan Danielson or Samoa Joe. That's just my pick.
Yep. It is absolutely taking away from the greatest Ring of Honor champion of all time, Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson
I
by
was waiting
far.
for that. I knew that was coming.
Bryan Danielson should be the only inductee into this inaugural Hall of Fame. Bryan Danielson should be the only inductee into any Hall of Fame. People were talking about, oh, The Undertaker getting inducted into the... No, Bryan Danielson. Today. And then close it. Close it. No one else should get in after Bryan Danielson. That's how much he means to pro wrestling. He is the greatest pro wrestler to ever lace up a pair of boots.
He's the greatest technical wrestler. He's the greatest technical wrestler.
Promo,
wrestler.
Whatever you want to say.
Probably the greatest technical wrestler.
Never lost. Trevor, never lost.
He is one of the greatest technical wrestlers I've ever seen.
Best. And no, first of all, okay. In all seriousness, best technical wrestler.
He definitely really is. He is honestly one of the best technical wrestlers.
And on promos, he's top 5 right now in the entire world on promos.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And this is that was the whole knock on him. But to talk about why I genuinely do think Bryan Danielson is the best out of this group. As my fandom and memeing aside, he is, and it's because at a time when Samoa Joe left, at the time where CM Punk left, where Ring of Honor had this big boom early on, they had this big boost, and people were wondering,
Anderson's still there.
Yeah, what's next? What's next? The dude literally, like I said, he took it. He took the ball, ran with it, and took it to places no one thought they could go. And he had great match after great match, and made a name for himself as the best technical wrestler in the world for years before he was ever on WWE's radar. And he not only was able to translate that to WWE, he changed the system there. He changed it. Like, he was instrumental in changing it so that smaller guys like Finn Balor could be Universal Champion. He really did. And you have that. You have the fact that he's only getting better with age. Like, the stuff he's doing now is like the stuff he did in Ring of Honor on steroids. It's even better, Trevor. Like, I mean, to me, there's a few things in pro wrestling that are really, really good right now. But anything Bryan Danielson's done since he signed with anything Bryan Danielson's done since he started feuding with Roman Reigns in January of 2021, it's been absolute magic gold. Because you had I think one of the best promos in 2021 was Bryan Danielson sitting in the what's it called, the Thunderdome, brother, on the SmackDown before Mania, sitting in his chair and just cutting a promo, the promo of his life in there, and convincing everyone that he could win. Like, he could actually win. And he was like kind of the odd man out. And then you were like, I'm kind of rooting for Bryan now because he's so good. He's so good. And, if Bryan loses, we riot. That was my thing. But I
remember you saying that.
It is just, he's the best. And he's the reason I watch Ring of Honor. He's the reason I got into it. And he's just the best. He's great. He's a vegan. He likes trees. He understands the corrupt power of corporate systems.
Is this why he's a great wrestler, or why you have a secret man crush on him?
Why do you think I'm wearing a white shirt right now, dude? Why do you think I'm wearing a plain white shirt right now? It's not a coincidence.
Your nipples aren't showing. Your nipples aren't showing enough.
Are they?
That's to be tired. That's to be tired.
Wow. You trust me, you don't want to see my nipples. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe. What is this show devolving into? Oh man. You never know. I did not think I was going to get asked about my nipples today live on YouTube, but here we are. Guys, let's move on into the last segment of our show. And that is, there he is, returning after 1 year in hiatus. Good old Tuna Meltzer in the graphic below. Big old Dave Meltzer. Oh, that graphic doesn't look good, does it? Oh, we got a problem. It's okay. We're going to fix it. Oh, man. But Dave Meltzer, man. Dave freaking Meltzer. This guy and his lists. Remember last year, the dude who gave us worst gimmick, The Fiend. Let's see what he gives us this year, Trevor. Let's see what he gives us this year.
I'm waiting.
The Wrestling Observer newsletter announced their year-end awards for the year 2021, and boy, oh boy, are some of these surprising. A lot of these, though, you might think, thought of that. But let's start off with Wrestler of the Year, Trevor. There's a lot of people that could have gone to Wrestler of the Year, or who could have gotten Wrestler of the Year. Many people thought maybe Bryan Danielson gets it because of the work he's done lately. Is it Hangman Adam Page? Is it Roman Reigns? In fact, it was none of those men. It was the one, the only, the man who had the greatest year of any wrestler in 2021 in pro wrestling. Kenny. Oh, that wasn't it. Okay, but Kenny, by God, Omega, Trevor. Kenny, by God, Omega.
Kenny got it?
Kenny, by God, Omega got it, sir. Oh, man. But
I'm not surprised by that, though.
Yeah, you can't be
I'm not
surprised. You can't be surprised by that, but there we go. So
yeah,
Kenny,
yeah,
so Kenny Omega wins Wrestler of the Year, Trevor. Surprises absolutely nobody's been paying attention. Multiple world championship reigns across multiple different promotions on multiple different pay-per-views. This guy was Mr. Wrestling in 2021. He headlined the best pay-per-view in wrestling since WrestleMania X7. He had a classic hour-long hour-long draw with Bryan Danielson. He had one of the greatest moments in AEW history when he was beaten by Hangman Adam Page in that emotional match at Full Gear. And he was just... Mutton Chops Omega was... Mwah,
oh, yeah.
What
Love
a heel. It was great. But, Trevor, why is Kenny Omega... It's got to be Kenny Omega, right?
Got to be. It's got to be. I mean, like you said, there are a few people that you can put in the category. But at the end of the day, it's got to be Kenny. I mean, who did what Kenny was doing last year? 2021 was all Kenny Omega, man. I mean, like, it was the year of the Omega. Kenny by God Omega, he won the TNA championship. He won the AEW championship. He was AAA champion. Like, good Lord, if it was a title, he had it. Like, Kenny Omega was the cleaner, man. He did what he had to do. Like, if it was anyone, if they gave the Rest of the Year award to anyone else, I think it'd kind of be a shame. Even though,
I'll have you know, that Shingo Takagi should have won. Tokyo Dome brother. Although Shingo Takagi did win Most Outstanding Wrestler of the Year. And for those of you who are wondering, so there are 2 awards, by the way, everyone out there. There are 2 awards out there in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. One is Wrestler of the Year, and the other one is the Most Outstanding Wrestler of the Year. And I explained this to Trevor last year. The best way to think about these 2 awards is the Wrestler of the Year is the WWE Championship to Most Outstanding Wrestler, which is the World Heavyweight Championship / the Universal Championship. It's the only way to explain it. Does it make sense? No. Should it even be an award? No.
Probably not.
But those wrestling, you know, I got in that Tokyo Dome, I go the 18th spot. I love how when I just want to be funny but don't want to try, I just go into the JBL voice and just start saying random stuff.
My God,
we're gonna set the Desert Storm, and it's the Desert Storm meets the Tokyo Dome. My God, we're gonna transport the Tokyo Dome.
Racism is funny.
That's not racist. What against
he's
who?
Racist.
Texans? Oh, I mean,
no, I'm saying he's racist.
Well, he is racist. Yes, he is racist. I mean, like, no. What I was doing was a Texas accent. I was just saying something JBL would literally say on commentary, which is they're gonna take the Tokyo Dome and transfer it to the Desert Storm, and it's gonna be a Tokyo Storm. I go, like, wow, like that. Yes, tell me that's not something he would say. Tell me that's not
it is. Unfortunately, it definitely is.
It make no sense, but you be laughing. We just be laughing. It's like, wow, JBL, you absolute.
You, sir, are an idiot.
I award you no points. and may God have mercy on your soul.
Really, Happy Gilmore?
Billy Madison.
I'm sorry. No. It's Billy Madison.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Billy
Which one of us was born in the 80s? You guys
Madison.
determine
Billy
that.
Madison.
Yeah.
That movie did not come out in the 80s. First off, punch you in the knee.
I wasn't even born when that movie came out, dude. I wasn't even born.
Are you serious? It came out like the 90s then, I guess.
Yeah, it came out in the 90s. It was like 95. I wasn't born.
I'm sorry you're young.
Well, I'm sorry, you don't even know your own damn childhood, sir. The hell?
Had a rough childhood. Get back to the goddamn list.
I know. You grew up watching WCW. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, anyway. Oh my God. Oh, by the way, I am at it's the end. I'm watching WCW right now. I mean, no, it's not. No. Trust me, I'm still in the beginning of the year. Like, or 2000. Actually, I don't even think I'm at 2000 yet. No, I'm not at 2000. But I'm like watching. I'm like, oh, it's over. Like, it's over. Like the last even memorable thing I remember was I think it was August 99. It was on August 99 Nitro, where Hogan returned with his he's got the red, white, and blue flowing through his veins. He was born and raised the American way. What does that even mean? That is racist as hell. He was born and raised the American way. He's blonde hair, blue eyes. That's what that means. He was born and raised in the American.
He has too many fucking songs. I am a real American. Fight for the right.
Okay. To be honest, I will say this. Like both of those songs are bangers, though. Both of those songs are bangers. Like I could here's the thing. If Real American came on, I don't know whether it's the inner mark in me. You know, I wouldn't want to cheer Hogan, but I'm just like the song is just like.
I just like the song. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like. And then you got the red, white, and blue throwing through night. Like I'm like, yeah, I can buy. Hey, man, I'm not country.
Of course,
I mean,
that.
Oh, Voodoo Child. I always say this. Like, if I had an entrance music, it would be Voodoo Child. Like, I would enter.
It's an amazing song, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if I ever get married, I'm gonna come down to that song. I don't care what my wife says.
Oh my God, sir, you're never gonna get married if that's the case. You're gonna
duh.
It's like this is my hill to die on. It's like what happened? I was like, I thought you guys were happy. And he goes, look, she just wouldn't let me play Voodoo Child. It wasn't me. It was her.
It was her.
Oh my God. Oh gosh. Oh, hey, at least you should. I mean, hey. If it worst comes to worst, be like. I'm a wrestling fan. It could have been much worse.
Oh, it could have been glorious.
Oh, first of all, who wouldn't want to enter to that music? I mean, but you could be like, I mean, no, but I'm talking like bad. It could be like, baby, I want to enter to the song The Rock sang about pie.
Oh,
remember?
Hey,
no,
that was
remember
very interesting. That was a very inspirational song. Okay,
that
song was
or like Kurt Angle's I don't. Suck. I don't suck.
No, even though the greatest thing ever was when he was inducted and he said, I suck. And he started singing. That was the greatest thing ever.
Oh, man.
Yes. Oh, when he was singing the Shawn Michaels song? That was great, dude.
Oh, God. Cece says we should sing our favorite opening songs. Okay, so favorite opening songs. Let's see. I mean, I don't even. Trevor, what's your favorite opening song? Like favorite wrestling theme music all time?
You know what? That's a damn good question. Because of course, Voodoo Child is up there. Absolutely. I don't know. I mean, I like Shawn Michaels' song, of course. Shawn Michaels is one of my favorite wrestlers.
Perfect. Sing the song. Sing it.
But I didn't say it was my favorite.
I think I'm cute. I
know I'm sexy.
I got gold glasses.
Looks.
I don't know.
The girls, wow.
Man, I don't know.
I mean, that's a good one. I mean, Honky Tonk Man was hilarious. I loved Honky Tonk. He's the Honky Tonk Man.
Oh my!
That was like
oh my! Greatest. I'm a Honky Tonk Man. I'm cool. I'm cocky. And I'm bad. I'm bad. I am bad. I'm really bad at singing. That much is true.
I'm cool. I'm cocky. Oh man.
Oh my god. Can you imagine?
Oh,
No, but
how about the
yeah.
ass man?
I want the. Oh
I'm
my
an
god.
ass man.
What a gimmick! What a gimmick they gave the
Oh
Billy
my
Gunn.
god. But have
Literally
you ever actually listened to
transcended.
the words of that song?
No, I haven't, but it has transcended generations now. The Ass Boys. Hello, Ass Boys. Hello, Ass Boys.
One day when you have nothing but time, sit down and listen to that song. Oh my god. I like to kick them. I like to touch them.
Cannot co-sign.
I'm not even kidding.
Cannot co-sign that. Wow.
You're
Oh
the
god.
one. That song is hilarious.
The
dog.
one Billy. Oh, you remember when he teamed up with the Big Show? The
Oh,
Shoguns.
shit.
The Shoguns.
When he was the one, wasn't Honky Tonk Man his manager?
I think it was. Oh my god, I'm Mr. Honky Tonk Man.
How did we get there? How did we get here?
I'm a
How does this happen?
fool. I'm a fool.
I'm cocky. I'm bad.
He's a fool. He's cocky, and he's bad at singing. As far as me, I go. Let's see. What's my favorite song? There's a few out there, but the one I keep going back to is. I mean, I love Cody's song actually, like his song right now, and I hope he sticks with it in WWE.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
I liked his other one, Smoke and Mirrors.
I don't like that one. See, I don't like Smoke and Mirrors. Like, whoa, you only smoke and mirrors to me. You only smoke and mirrors to me. Whoa, you only smoke and mirrors. Like, no, I'm not vibing with that. But I do vibe with adrenaline in the soul, every
like the song.
thought of control, going off to WWE. Whoa, my father.
Why does he always have
wore
80s power
some
ballads?
some polka dots. They're gonna do the same to me. Same to me. They took it all away because I gave it all away. They took my freedom. But they may have taken it away, but I'm getting paid. Because I sold my freedom. Now I bow to
Stupid
them.
shit.
Hey, man, this is all off the cuff.
Oh, Edge is. I mean, not Edge. Edge is one of my favorite. Also, Christians.
Wait, which Edge song? You talking about the Rob Zombie? Virgo in my Durango. I'm a 95.
That was. Oh,
Then
that was
we
my
did
favorite.
a hot leg, bootleg, Mary Heaven.
Living dead girl. That one in
My Lady Dracula.
Oh God. Don't we have a list to read?
Yes, we did. I don't know what I'm doing. I've lost control of this show. It's my own fault.
Do we ever have control of it?
Sometimes it's like every 3 weeks we actually do an amazing show, but this is see here's the thing, we have a cycle for everyone who doesn't know. It's like 1 week for week 1, amazing show, boom, great. Week 2, we have a little too much fun, like this week. It's week 2. Next week we're gonna be dead. We're gonna be dead.
That was terrible.
but it's gonna be a fun to watch. So tune in next
Fun
week.
to watch.
Anyway, let's move on, guys. Tag Team of the Year went to, obviously, who else but the Young Bucks. It is basically their award at this point. The Young Bucks are Dave Meltzer's, I don't know, they're like his other children at this point, right? I mean, he loves the Young Bucks. 80 stars in the Tokyo Dome. Only 50 at Daily's Place, but it's out of 5 stars, so that tells you everything you need to know. But Young Bucks won Tag Team of the Year. They obviously were Tag Team Champions for a lot of the year. They lost those titles in a great match against the Lucha Bros at AEW All Out 2021. They dominated along with Kenny Omega. They were their heaters, so great on them. They are Tag Team of the Year. What do you think?
Agreed. I don't think you can argue with that, honestly. Not at all. Like they did what Kenny did. They dominated the entire year. I mean, come on. Who else are you gonna give it to? Can't give it to FTR. Even though I would love to. But you can't. So good on you, Bucks.
There's one team you can give it to. You know who you can give it to.
Oh, dear God.
Only one team out there, that deserves this award way more than the Young Bucks.
Who would that be, Omer?
I'll give you a hint. One of
Okay.
them is the Cincinnati boy.
He's a Cincinnati boy.
What?
He's a Cincinnati boy.
He's a Cincinnati boy.
Mm-hmm. Who's the other one?
Well, I mean, the other one, he's a, he, I think he's from California. I don't know where the fuck he's from, but, one of them is Cincinnati boy. You should know this. You should know this. One of them is Cincinnati boy. He's got fire, and he has great fire, but me, I'm gonna hurt you next week, Malachi Black. I am Brian Pillman. And I'm going to hurt you, Malachi, for what you did to me.
I thought he was going through puberty the second time. It was so...
That promo, I love Brian Pillman Jr. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely adore that man.
He's one of my favorite. Yeah, one of my favorite.
But geez, oh my, it was like watching Tommy Wiseau, like from The Room, cut a wrestling promo. It was just like the tone was just completely the opposite of what it should be, what a normal human being sounds like.
He sounds completely like an alien, but it was interesting. And like I say, it sounded like he was going through puberty every 5 seconds.
Hey, man. Eat prunes, people. This show is going off the rails so quickly. Anyway, I want to run through some of these other awards real quickly. Just some rapid fire responses from you, Trevor. Worst gimmick went, and I just want to get your reaction to him. All right.
You got it. What's the worst gimmick?
Worst gimmick went to Alexa Bliss.
Can't disagree.
That's it.
They got it on the head. It should. I love Alexa Bliss, but it was terrible. It was awful.
Most underrated, Ricochet.
I can see that too. I can definitely see that. That can go to a lot of different wrestlers, but definitely if Ricochet was that actual embodiment of that award, I don't know who else is it.
I mean, you're right about that. He probably is the embodiment of the award. I mean, I still think this should be called the Chad Gable Award because
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Even if you could make a case that Chad Gable probably should have won this for 2021 too, because like comparatively what he's doing now,
it's amazing that they're using him now.
The way what he's doing now is like freaking amazing. He's killing it, and they just had him sitting on like, I'm short, I'm short,
Shorty G.
I'm an Olympian who loses to Madcap Moss and Bebo Corbo. Like, anyway, Rookie of the Year. The wrestling this year's or 2021's Rookie of the Year was Jade Cargill, according to the observers. What do you think about that?
You know what? Honestly, I know there's going to be some marks that disagree with this, but I like it. I definitely like it. I like the chop she's shown. I like the work ethic. I like it. I definitely do.
She's getting better on her promos. She's getting better in the ring. She's believable. And say what you want. Some of the best, and honestly, best increases that Dynamite has on a week-to-week basis are when Jade Cargill's matches are on. She's a draw. The metrics prove it. She is a draw. She's getting better. She's physically intimidating. If Jade Cargill came up to me and said, I want to fight you, I would run away crying like a little child because that's the appropriate response when Jade Cargill wants to fight you. She's like 8 feet tall and would kill me.
But this is like her real first wrestling gig, though, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Her first match was that Shaq Cody match.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Feud of the year. Kenny, by God, Omega versus Adam Page. It should win Feud of the Year. Yeah.
Yeah, it should. It definitely should. I mean, this is a feud that's been 3 years in the making. Like it definitely wins.
Although I will say this, I would say this, like from like what was it like from, I think it was like June to about November, Jon Moxley versus the country of Japan. Like anyone who came through the Forbidden Door in Japan was facing Jon Moxley.
That was great.
That was also a
definitely
great feud. Jon Moxley versus Japan. Book it, brother. Like and Tony Khan did. Tony Khan did.
He definitely did. Did a good job.
Absolutely. And last in the rapid fire, best announcer.
Excalibur.
Okay, I don't agree with this.
No.
He's number. Well, Excalibur's great.
Yeah.
But in 2021, he's a number 2. That's what he's number 2. Even though he only had one wrestling event under his belt in 2021, I don't care what anyone says. It's Mauro Ranallo.
It's always Mauro Ranallo.
Mauro Ranallo made D'Lo Brown look like Corey Graves in 2014. That's how good Mauro is. And D'Lo Brown sucks. D'Lo Brown
he's terrible.
He's terrible.
Awful.
Always loses.
Him and what's his name together are absolutely awful.
Matt
Striker, terrible. Okay, I can't. When I watch it, whenever I watch,
well, Matt Striker's
TNA,
gone. Luckily.
Oh, who's now?
Actually, it's Tom Phillips.
Ooh.
Tom Phillips. He's dude. I like Tom Phillips actually. Like
I do too. I'm a big fan of Tom Phillips.
Like he's like a better version of Michael Cole. He's just a better version of Michael Cole. Because Michael Cole is just out here like, aha, John Cena with a very attitudinal rap. Yes. Oh yes. Let's see. We have. It's good. Well, tonight it's not called the AA. It's called whoa. There we go. And oh my God, Bad Bunny with a Will-to-World. It's like it's a Canadian destroyer. Well, I mean you mean a Will-to-World, right, Corey?
Right. No, Michael Cole is terrible. He's absolutely awful.
For the love of mankind. A dude just fell 20-30 feet off a Hell in a Cell onto a table, and
you're looking at the car.
Instinct is, oh my God, for the love of mankind, looking down at his script like a little jobber, dry little can't say that on TV. He's great. He's great though when he doesn't have Vince producing him though. That's the thing. He's actually good when he doesn't have Vince producing him. Anyway,
that happens.
Yeah, oh my gosh, like thinking back, one of the worst combinations you could ask for in pro wrestling as far as announcing JBL and Michael. I remember I was fighting Eddie Guerrero. At the board on Michael. I'm like, Jesus, JBL, stop. Like that.
And unfortunately, that was true.
Oh, I rewatched that segment and it was so bad, Trevor. It was so bad.
It was pretty bad.
He was like pretending he was the crocodile hunter. Like that's. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. It was awful.
You know what's not awful? The person who won Most Improved Wrestler of the Year. She got so much better, and it is of course the one, the only Ty Conti, future AEW World Champion Ty Conti. My God, she. Night and day, much like Britt Baker before her. I think she's set up for success on so many levels in 2022. I think she's going to win the world title, whether it's from Rosa or Baker or whoever's the champion. Full gear or all out, she has to win the title. I think that she should hold the title for a long time because she's a credible threat. She's done MMA. She's amazing. She's getting better on promos. She's got the international appeal, obviously. And people like her. Like, look at this. Look at this. Her in -1. It's adorable. She's amazing. And also that match she had with Britt Baker at All Out was just, oh my God. If that was like a test to see if she was ready, she passed it and then some. I got extra credit. 18 stars. Not even in the Tokyo Dome, brother.
No, she's by far one of the most improved wrestlers I've seen. Like, honestly, I mean, her and you can't even say Jungle Boy because Jungle Boy's already been doing well. But yeah, she's one of the most improved wrestlers, hands down.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ty Conti, a winner is you. And next, Trevor, we go to match of the year.
Aha.
And I think, look, there was a lot of great matches this year. Obviously, the Triple Threat Mania, amazing match. Ilya Dragunov versus Walter,
Great match.
great match. But all of those matches pale to comparison to the Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros. Steel Cage, All Out
My God.
2021. Trevor, money
Such
match,
a great
right?
match. Such a great match, man. Like we've talked about this before, and like honestly, oh my God, amazing, absolutely amazing match. Like they literally tore the house down, dude. It was, oh my God, so many great spots. Like you mentioned before, Penta taking a bump for his brother. Like it's amazing, amazing.
Oh, it's just so great. I mean, oh God, like you know what's funny, Trev? You know what's really funny? I haven't gone back and watched that match yet, like twice. I've only seen it once,
Yeah, I want to see it once too.
and like it's not that I'm not scared. I'm scared to watch it back. I just want to like, I don't know. Like I just never want to have that feeling of, because like it's easy to be cynical. We get cynical about everything, right? Like it's easy. Like you can watch the greatest match ever. Like I think like for me, one of the most influential matches for me was the Triple Threat main event at Mania in 2004, the WrestleMania 20. Like that was big for me. But you know, like as you watch it, even like that, to this day, I'm like, that's like probably my favorite wrestling match ever. You get jaded over time about things, you know, and that happens. Like you see different things, but man, I'm just like, this match was so great. Like
It was. It really
it's hard
was.
to put into
It shouldn't
words.
be touched. Shouldn't be tarnished. I mean, I feel the same way. Like one match we talk about a lot of is Owen and Brett. And that's one of those matches that I went back and watched a few times, you know what I mean? And I felt like, I mean, I feel now it's still a good match, but I feel it's something that's taken away from it. And another match we don't talk about that I thought was a great match for him, not so much for Hogan, but Mr. Perfect and Hulk Hogan was an amazing match. If you haven't seen it, it's actually a pretty damn good match. It's one of the few times Mr. Perfect went for the world title, and it was a great match. But Hogan, of course, Hogan it up. So
I'm not reacting to you right now. We just got a whopper question from Ryan Woodridge, by the way. Love you to death, man. Thank you for always supporting the show and the channel in general and everything that I do. But my G, this question, Trevor.
Hold up. I'm about to look at this question.
I mean, don't even look at it. Don't even look. Let me read it out to you. I want you to react to that.
Okay,
And you got
yeah,
to answer it. You got to answer it. Ryan Woodridge.
Okay.
Ryan Woodridge in the chat says, "Hi, bro. Did you see Aaron Rodgers retiring and joining AEW as a ring announcer?" I love Ryan.
Dude, you know what? If anyone else asked that question, I'd probably be like, the fuck are you talking about? But because it's Ryan, because he has some of these questions that just you never think of, and then you think about it like, wow, that actually it's something that could happen.
However, this is not one of those questions, Ryan. I don't want you to get ahead of yourself. It's not happening.
Now, he could probably be an NFL announcer or commentator. I don't think he would do WWE at all. And honestly, I don't think he would be very good at it.
Oh, yeah. Fucking him going over there and be like, yeah, so he's going over there and he just attacked that other guy. That's great. Literally. Oh, well, no, it would be like, oh, look, he's immunized to that Stone Cold Stunner. He's reversed it. Unlike me, I'm not immunized. Just so everyone knows, that was me speaking as Aaron Rodgers, not me speaking for me. Anyway, Ryan Woodridge also asks a real question here. Hi, bro. Do you are they gonna do Stone Cold versus KO at WrestleMania? Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's not a rumor. It's a report, sir.
Sorry.
You're gonna have to learn the difference, sir.
Sorry.
It's making faces at this point. I don't even know what we're doing here. What are your thoughts on The Undertaker going in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, I like this briefly, Trevor. What are your thoughts on The Undertaker going in the Hall of Fame?
I like it. I feel like it should have happened a long time ago, but I like it.
Cool. Well, Trevor,
Last
last but not least, we got a double main event here with the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards. We have the Promoter of the Year and the Promotion of the Year both going to AEW. AEW won Promotion of the Year, and Tony Khan won Promoter of the Year. And, you know, he won it last year. They won it last year. It is a big deal. Now they won it, I believe, 3 years in a row. Is AEW genuinely the promotion, the best promotion, at least in North America, if not the world right now?
Right. I agree. I totally agree, man. It's a great. I mean, I like Tony Khan. I mean, does he make mistakes sometimes? Yes, but is he great at what he does? Absolutely. As long as he keeps putting product out there, I mean, people are gonna, enjoy the guy, and he's doing a good job so far. So good on you, Tony.
Good on you, Tony. Just for God's sakes, stop tweeting. Just stop tweeting, bro. Or how about this, Tony? I look at tweets every day for a living.
Yeah.
Hire me.
I can do
Tony, for the small price of $6 million a tweet, we will fix your We will fix your tweeting problems. I promise you. If Tony Khan had to pay a price of $6 million per tweet, he would not be. He would not be tweeting now as much as he is.
Hell no, I wouldn't. Not at all.
HireMeTonyKhan.com. Anyway, guys, I think that's gonna do it. Just about do it for us. Trevor, anything else? Anything? What are you watching right now? You watching any old stuff? Any new stuff? Anything? What was going on?
Watch some old stuff. Watch some new stuff. I've been enjoying AEW, of course. Enjoying some of the matches on WWE. For the first time, I watched Raw almost halfway through in a while. That was interesting.
Even my microphone was shocked at that, bro.
Yeah, I watched.
You see what just happened? You see what just happened?
Dude, I thought you did that. I didn't know you were.
No, I just let go of it and it went boom. It was like shot. I mean,
I was like, wait, what the hell?
Whoa.
Yeah, I watched some WWE, some Raw. It was yeah. It was yeah.
It's passable, right? I mean, okay, passable. It's not all garbage right now.
No. Actually, Bianca Belair's promo was spot on. I liked their promo. Her and Becky's back and forth was good. The back and forth with the promo with the Edge. I love the Edge promo. I thought it was great. Yo, like we've been saying for weeks, Cowboy Brock Lesnar, absolutely amazing. Like
hey,
absolutely.
I'm Brock Lesnar.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. I mean, it is. Yeah. Raw was actually like pretty decent this week. I mean, all things considered, I huge fan of Brock. Huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of like a lot of them going on. The one thing, like, I mean, again, I know like they have to event, like Becky's got to lose at Mania to Bianca Belair and all that, right? It's got to happen. But oh man, I hope when that happens, we get Becky Lynch a face turn. I just want to cheer Becky Lynch. I'm done with big time Becks.
Here's the thing. I feel like it was forced upon us. It wasn't something that, like, we were like, oh, okay, yeah, it's cool. Like, she comes back, she beats Bianca Belair for, like, in, like, 11 seconds, 20 seconds, something great like that. And now she's big-time Bex, and I'm like, it's just not fun.
It's really not. She's so good, bro. I just wonder. Did I just snort? I just snorted. Anyway, I did. It'd be like that. I just want Becky Lynch. I just want Becky Lynch to be the biggest star in the company that I know she can be.
Right.
Like, she is so good. She's the best promo in pro wrestling. Like, and I don't even mean that. Yeah, people like give me like, well, she's not better than CM, but he's better than CM Punk.
That's better than CM Punk.
Better than MJF.
I know, it's hard to believe. Yes.
I know. She's better than MJF because the stuff she's given is absolute garbage. That's the thing. garbage what she's given. But she's able to go. Her delivery, I have never seen someone like the line. I remember back in the day, like she had to deliver like a very cheesy line about a Johnny Cash song, like the man comes around, right?
Oh yeah.
Very cheesy line, but the way she delivered it was like, it's like, you better watch out when the man comes around. I'm like, oh my God, Becky.
Her delivery is amazing. Like,
Oh
and
my
not even
God.
for like a woman or just for a wrestler in general. Her like she has one of the best promos, like you said. Like no one's shooting promos like she is.
God, even heel Becky Lynch, I'm just like, you're a face. You just don't realize it yet.
Yeah, you can't do this.
You can't do this.
Can't
to
do
us.
this.
Stop it. You are the biggest star in pro wrestling. Like, and that's the thing too. Like, people got mad at me when I said that on Twitter. Like, I was like Becky Lynch. Because there was like a debate who's the best like female wrestler in the world. A lot of people were saying like, like, I mean, some people were saying Becky Lynch. Like, a lot of people were saying like, oh well, Bianca Belair or Britt Baker or whatever. I'm just like, I love all those people, and I love Britt Baker. Britt Baker versus Becky Lynch is a money match in a dream fantasy world. But for me, like, who's as far as the degree of how over they are, the degree of how good they are, but as a total package, I don't think there's really no, I think, one wrestler who can touch Becky Lynch, male or female, in WWE as far as the total package that she can deliver. Roman is good. Roman is really good. Roman is really good on promos, but not to the level that Becky is. And that's, I think, the difference between her and Roman Reigns as far as the two top people in the company.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't agree more.
Oh, man. Like, Becky Lynch she became a mom and they turned her heel. These animals.
Animals. No, I would love to see face Becky again. I love Becky regardless, but like I just don't really like the work they're doing with her right now. And if Bianca Belair loses this match, I'm going to piss and moan about it again.
I thought you were gonna stop that sentence of piss. I was like, I'm good. What? This is concerning. I was like, if she loses, imagine that being a protest. I will pee. I will piss. If she loses, if Bianca Belair loses, I will piss. It's like very concerning.
If this happens,
where?
I'm going to pee.
I'm going.
Where?
No, that's the trick. You don't know. It's like, oh dear.
And you don't know when it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen whenever.
He's like, that is. Could you imagine? It's like Bianca Belair loses a Mania and you just goes, "That's it, I'm doing it." And you go to the bathroom. You pee. It's like, where'd you pee? In the bathroom, but look at the toilet seat.
I didn't lift it.
Wow, what a way to end the show. What a way to end the show.
Oh, well, just to remind you guys, because we said it earlier, next week is our anniversary. We have been doing this show for a year. Jesus, Christmas. And I think this would be interesting to find out which one you guys pick. What was your favorite segment? What, like, stupid thing that we have done on this show that you've enjoyed? Like, it can be an interview, it can be a topic.
I'll put a poll up on the community page. Yeah. I already know which one's gonna win. I already know which one's gonna win.
I have a couple of ideas. Yeah,
I have a clear idea of which one it is, and it's. I feel like it's gonna be a landslide.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, guys, let us know about that. Go to youtube.com/Real Take Sports. Subscribe, like, share. Go over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review. Follow us on Twitter at Real Take Sports. www.realtakesports.com. Follow Trevor at Trevortainment. TREVERTAINMENT on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at OMERQ Show. That is OMERQ Show on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Real Take Sports Talk. Be sure to check out Real Take Sports Talk now every Thursday. Yes, much like SmackDown in 2016. We're moving to Thursdays. But yep, Real Take Sports Talk is going to move to Thursdays live, giving you all the wonderful sports action that we always do. We're going to be talking about the NBA All-Star break. Going to be talking about the NBA in general, and a lot more stuff to be seen. A lot more NBA streams coming up with me and my boy Trenzy. We're going to be doing that. Yeah. Pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Until next time, everyone, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.